You think you're lonely right now, but what if I told you this isn't loneliness? This is solitude, and it might be the most powerful opportunity you'll ever get to rebuild the man that you were meant to become. And the whole purpose of me making this video is to make you realize that this isn't loneliness. It's solitude, a gift from God. And God took her out of your life not to break you, but to break your attachment to who you were, that old identity. So you're not being abandoned. You're being isolated for a reason. I know right now you're trapped in darkness. You can't see the light. But I promise you, when you embrace this opportunity that you're going through right now, this adversity, you will look back and understand exactly what I'm trying to say with this video. Because loneliness is suffering, but solitude is silence to rebuild. And I've personally been in your position before. I've been through multiple breakups. I'm in my mid-30s, and I got into relationships at a very young age. When I was 18, I got myself into my first relationship. And I was one to never be single for too long. I'd always want to be in a relationship. And there were certain insecurities, certain areas of my life that I didn't focus on, that I should have focused on, but I'd always seek validation by getting myself in a relationship, not giving myself the opportunity to sit in that silence long enough to rebuild. And for me, I ignored God's call. He gave me plenty of opportunities to rebuild myself, but I just didn't take that opportunity. I'd get myself in a relationship, and God had to teach me a lesson. He'd make me go through breakups. I'd ignore that message, get myself in another relationship, and I'd always be in the same position once the relationship started to lose its traction, once the honeymoon period would end. So all that emotional baggage, all the past trauma, all the insecurities, all the areas that I should have been focusing on as a man, they all came to light with every single relationship. At the start, my ego would come into play and I'd be like, okay, you know what? It's her fault. It's not my fault. I'm the catch. She lost out. But that was my ego talking. But my last breakup, which was a 7-year relationship, which came to an end approximately 3 years ago, that's when I started to take personal responsibility. That's when I started to admit that I'm not perfect. I made a bunch of mistakes, but I chose to get to work. I chose to embrace that call from God because I kept getting the same outcomes with every single relationship. So it was me, and it more than likely is you as well. So don't let your ego take over. Take personal responsibility. Don't shift the blame. Even if she left you, replaced you for another guy, at the end of the day, there's a valuable lesson that you can take from the breakup that you're going through. And there's definitely areas of your life that you haven't really focused on where now you get the perfect opportunity to do this. So God makes you go through these breakups for a reason, to strengthen you into a better man, to strengthen you into a stronger character, to give you the opportunity to rebuild your identity. So the whole message I'm trying to make here is I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did. I was 33 when I had to learn the hard way, and everything around me, not just the relationship, everything else came tumbling around me. For me, that was a rock bottom period in my life. So I'm hoping this video will wake you up to realize, you know what, I don't want to wait till everything completely collapses. I want to learn from someone else who's made a bunch of mistakes, who gets himself in the same situation trying to avoid the pain, and then everything else just comes crashing down around you. And the older you get, the more harder it will be to rebuild. Can you definitely rebuild? Of course you can in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. But what I'm trying to say is use this opportunity to learn a lesson. Learn from someone who's made a bunch of mistakes so you don't have to. I'm here to share my wisdom with you so you don't get yourself in the same position that I did. Because it's much harder to bounce back the older that you get. So now I'm hoping that you understand that you're not going through loneliness. You're going through an opportunity to rebuild not only your identity, but to rebuild your life, to rewrite that next chapter as a man, which is far more important than worrying about being in a relationship. Because everything that you avoid, everything that you need to focus on as a man will all come to light. Even if you get yourself in another relationship, all these areas that you're avoiding, all these signs that you're missing will come to light. Everything comes to light later in that relationship. You're always going to have this empty void. So I want you to understand this. For me personally, when I took personal responsibility, after making a bunch of mistakes, ignoring that call from God, I finally answered the call. So I want you to understand that solitude is the silence that you get to rebuild yourself, rebuild that next chapter of your life. You've got no distractions. You're no longer responsible for looking after anyone else. Clear the path, remove any vices, remove any friends that get you to go out and start drinking and engage in women and all these things. Avoid relationships, avoid dating, process the emotions of the breakup firstly, then focus on rebuilding a strong relationship with yourself. Focus on your self-worth. That is very important. You're more than likely going through low self-worth right now. You more than likely have not stuck to your boundaries within that relationship. Okay, cool. Work on your self-worth. Then focus on your reconnection to your life's mission or your purpose. Okay, this is very important. You need to have this side figured out as a man before you get in a relationship. Because if you don't have purpose or a mission, you will always have an empty void inside. So understand that solitude is the perfect opportunity to rebuild in silence. You've got no distractions. You're no longer responsible for looking after someone else. This is the perfect opportunity for you to now clear the path and rebuild your relationship with yourself firstly. Process the emotions of the breakup. Focus on the areas that need improvement. Right now for you, it's more than likely self-worth. You need to focus on rebuilding your self-worth as a man, which will then strengthen your masculine frame. You'll have standards, you'll have values, you'll have boundaries that you can put in place and not let people cross them, not let women cross them. You need to focus on reconnecting your purpose and your mission in life. This is very important. If you don't focus on your purpose or your life's mission, when you get in that next relationship, you will feel that empty void. You will feel like something is missing. Every man needs a purpose or a mission. Every man needs to be ambitious and striving for more. That's just the way that we're hardwired. If we go against our hardwiring, what happens is we essentially just lean towards vices. We just lean towards pleasure chasing. So you've got to understand that this is the perfect opportunity to get yourself right, rewrite that next chapter of your life, not suffer in silence. If you don't know where to start, you need to reach out for help. It's okay to reach out for help as a man. If this is something that you're going through right now and you need that help, you can always click the link down below. You can book a free call with me and I'll see if you're the right fit for my program so I can help you rebuild at this point. But look, I'm going to end this video here. Bit of a short video today, but it's getting quite hot. It's about 40 degrees outside and yeah, I'm heating up right now. So I'm going to end this video here. If you're new to my channel, you like my content, hit the subscribe button. It really helps me keep making more valuable content. And if you like this video, give it a like. It always helps the algorithm being a smaller channel. And if you want to share your comments, drop your comments down below. But look, ending the video here, I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.